Who's ready for more Moon Knight? We've got some new news on the character's return and some kind of, well, we'll call it circumstantial evidence that he will indeed be part of Avengers Doomsday. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the report about Oscar Isaac, where the news comes from, and why it does seem he's headed back in front of the cameras in the Marvel Universe. Well, if you're a fan of this channel, you know I really love the Moon Knight series. I would have loved to have seen the character in costume on screen a little more, but honestly, the show itself is one of my favorites. Now, it premiered on Disney Plus almost 3 years ago, and since then, the fans have really gotten next to no news. The character has yet to return from its cliffhanger ending. If you remember correctly, the show ended with Mark and Steven seemingly freed from Khonshu, but then we found out that T's third personality, Jake Lockley, was still working for the Moon God. Now, ever since then, there's been lots of talk about the Moon Knight character. Many fans reacted pretty positively to the show and wanted either a season 2 or even for him to return on the big screen or be part of some other projects. He does traditionally operate in New York like Daredevil. But sadly, we've really got next to nothing. Now, we have heard he'll be part of Midnight Suns, but that project seems way off in the distance. And when we got the casting announcement for Avengers Doomsday, well, I pretty much figured the character wasn't going to be there. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because recently Oscar Isaac was announced as a guest at Star Wars Celebration in Japan. He was set to show up to sign autographs and take photos with fans, and there was a lot of people that were speculating about his return as Poe Dameron in some sort of Star Wars project at Lucasfilm. Over at Lucasfilm. Now, today we actually learned that he was dropped from the event, and in the announcement they said, due to changes in his production schedule. Now, there could be other reasons behind the scenes, and this is always kind of a go-to, like, creative differences, but it immediately triggered a ton of speculation. Now, what this is based around is the event coincides with the production of Avengers Doomsday, which kicks off filming this Monday. Now, in case you didn't know, Moon Knight was supposed to have a huge role in the Kang Dynasty, but it's been pretty clear Anthony and Joe Russo have pretty much completely reworked that plan. So nobody really knew where Moon Knight was going to fit in, and since he wasn't part of the announcement, well, actually no Disney Plus show characters were part of the announcement, well, it seemed like Moon Knight wasn't going to be part of it. Now, what's interesting about the whole story is it really doesn't prove or disprove anything, and it could be purely fan-driven. Star Wars Celebration was set to take place from the 18th to the 20th, so if he's got some sort of conflict, well, it seems like Doomsday is the best bet. As far as I can tell from the research I've done, there's no other projects he should be kicking off right now, and we know Marvel is really got a fire under their butts to get Doomsday in front of cameras because they're so far behind, and it's set to release next May, so they have just over a year to film and finish this, and last we heard they didn't have a finished script, so you know they're probably exercising any and all contractual control they have over their actors to get them in there, get them filmed, and get this project into post-production, which typically takes longer than filming the movie. Now, obviously we're going to watch Moon Knight really closely. I would love him to be part of Doomsday and Secret Wars. Just getting Oscar Isaac back in the costume and up on the screen would be pretty awesome, and it will be curious to see how Marvel Studios handles the whole story with Jake Lockley and the potential return of Mark Spector and Stephen Grant. Personally, I'm still hoping he lands in New York, but I would be very satisfied with this path. Now, before you take off though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily videos and we want to be your place for all the Marvel and DC news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you're really in the know.